Hi, everybody. You've got the wicked lady hippie at the bar. We are alive. It's my fucking bar, right? No kids right off the top. Quick background. Let's see what we got. Army veteran, published author, retired. It's good enough. Hence the bar at home. Don't have to pay nobody. And believe me, I'm in the deep south in Augusta, Georgia now. When I first came here 30 years ago, and I moved back to Texas to San Antonio 3 times during that time, I kept wondering why they didn't have bus lines, taxis, nothing. Thank God for Uber, it showed up. If you can afford it. Yeah, you can go 2 miles and pay 42.50. Personally, I'd rather walk it. It'd be better exercise. I have been up. I'm sorry. I've had this nightmare. Every time I get up here, I think it's a little close. I have to tell you guys that, damn it, sorry. I'm everything here. Um, I do all of this, as you can tell. It's amateur night on YouTube. I end up telling you guys I missed a day or something kooky because something else happened that just threw me off. I've just come off a horrific injury that took me out for a year. My first channel, it just was giving me fits. And so I changed, well, I didn't change it. I just opened a second channel. And I added Wicked and At the Bar Live. So you can find both channels. The other one's going to tell you it was, of course, filmed a year ago. I do this live. I'm sorry, throw in live chat here real quick. I do this live. And unless in the comments or in the live chat you ask me to go ahead and drop a video or whatever topic you'd like to talk about, because there's like freaking tons of them. It's Hippies Unite time, man. It's Woodstock without the mud. We're old. Yeah, baby boomer stuff that really jacks my ass. I'm a hippie. Now, my husband, yeah, you can call him baby boomer. He's 4 years older, so he can be a baby boomer. Don't you say that to me. At least not to my face. I warn you dreadfully now. Do not do that. It's like, don't call me Shirley. For those of you that are in the Augusta area, if you see me, throw something in comments, ask for the email. I'll throw you a link, what have you. Again, I really don't throw videos in. I'll talk the hell about them, but I usually don't throw them in there because I feel like it's plagiarizing. I mean, they made the video and we've all seen it 5,000 times to begin with. And so I tend to not put it in the show. It's just me and whoever wants to pop through on live chat, comment later on, or it's just me, period. I really don't give a shit. It's a bar. um, when I saw Bill Maher, hey babe, love you, Bill. Johnny Carson, enough said, right? Joe Rogan, hey baby. Another one just adored. News radio, bad thing that happened there. Loved you in that show. I've loved both of your careers for many, many decades now. Not that we're all young, but we're all still kicking it. I think I make this look good, so be kind. I tell you the truth, I opened one of my closets today. Yeah, I got more than one, and I'm not 20, and I said anything in here for a woman to make a woman look good over 60. The damn door slammed shut, so it's like time to go shopping. It's not. That's not a good sign. This is my bar, as I've stated, so you will tend to see me have a shot. I'll explain that in just a second. Cheers. I love these things. It's a whiskey fireball with a tan of mimosa to wash it down. Rough day, like I said. These are like airplane bottles. It's nice. I love these. They have this cinnamon ball burst, like at the end of it, your eyes go, that'll shit will wake you up. I don't care. I haven't had any sleep, and I give you a slight explanation for that because I'm going to run out of time, so I'm going to talk fast. My husband decided to get his boat and take off and go fishing. It's a cat sanctuary around here. We live in a cul-de-sac. People drop off animals. We end up taking care of them. And, of course, it's a given that we will have at least 2 cats have a litter of kittens, anywhere from 2 to 4. It's small litters, but still. Took the cover off, came in, said, you got to come outside. I'm already dressed for the evening. I have a tendency, as I've had all my life, even as a child, when you came in, you got out of your school clothes, and if you had your street clothes on, you was going to have to wear that for another 5-6 months. We were poor. We ordered from the Sears catalog in Montgomery Ward it was. So you took them play clothes off when you were done. dinner and kitchen and all that stuff, and got into your night clothes fairly early. And I do that. I come through the door whipping stuff off. The kids don't live here anymore. My grandkids don't live here anymore. Just me, some cats, and my husband pops in a couple times a day. He has an apartment upstairs. He had throat cancer, stage 4. We had a hospice here, and he beat it. And of course, the hospice nurse turned to him and said, "The reason you beat it is because of her. She wouldn't let any dirt, dust, nothing. Every day that we came here, it was spotless." And that is indeed good for a patient. She's always changing your bedding. She was always doing all that. She waited on you hand and foot. She's the reason you made it. This was about 5 years ago. And then we had the pandemic. So that turned into an apartment for him because the snoring was so loud for me downstairs. And then, of course, I had a horrific accident, took out my leg. I mean, literally, the ankle wasn't even attached. That's another book. So he came downstairs to take care of me. And I managed to not sleep for a long time. They didn't even start to do the surgeries on my leg for a month because Hurricane Helene came through on the day the first surgery was scheduled at the VA. I am treated by the VA. And it was the whole city was down for 2 weeks. So my husband has me ensconced in the bedroom where I can't do anything yet. They have never even stabilized the leg, really. And so I can get to the off suite bath, and that's it. Because I thought I was okay with crutches, and it turns out when you're my age and you get up on the crutches, you go, one, catch me, catch me, catch me, catch me. I wasn't as strong as I thought. And so you had to build that other leg up. So he got me a wheelchair. And the wheelchair would come down the hall just fine. But it wouldn't come through the doors into the master suite. This is an older home. It was built in 85. And so, of course, I would have to get there on the crutches. And it was so bad. Bless him. He would catch me because I would just kind of fall into the chair and then scream a little. Yeah, they don't treat pain. Tylenol extra strength. I really wanted it. I still do. I know it's frowned on. I don't suggest doing it, but I must say that it crossed my mind. If I hit this little boy in the mouth once, just give me one shot, and I got some extra strength Tylenol, I'll take care of his ass right here. If I hadn't liked him so much, I probably would have done it because I was in that much pain and didn't give a damn. I had to wait a month just for the first surgery, which was 15 hours. My ankle was content. You have 2 bones in your leg, and those 2 bones are connected to your ankle. And if I had 3 breaks in that leg, you can imagine how much metal I have now in my leg. So I'm the 6 cent woman. And they didn't use gold. So and I have to drive by our little airport here all the way to the VA, and lights and whistles go off and sirens and lights and all this stuff is going on. You can hear a telegram in the back. I'm like, hey, Homeland Security, ICE. Hey, guys, hey, it's just me. Personally, I like ICE, so they can come see me anytime they want. I agree with them. If I find somebody protesting against it, somebody put a bullhorn in front of my face, please do that. Because I would pay good money to see how the hell they're going to get that out of your ass. I'm old. I have good stuff. I got money, bail money. I got all that stuff. Go ahead, try that with me. I might be 5'2" from Chicago. We don't play fair. And then we were the first troop of women, the first company of women to train with the men. When I enlisted, it was the WAC Corps, the Women's Auxiliary Corps. When I got to boot camp, it was the same boot camp as the men. We were stationed with the men. Each company, we were Bravo, 3rd Battalion, and you had to do what the men did. And they told us at the very beginning when we landed up there, 4 days later, I must admit, it's like I was stupid by then, which probably wasn't a far drive. And, and the CO said, I know you're girls, which I found umbrage at immediately, like women couldn't learn something, even though this was all brand new to us and been up 4 days. And he says, I'm a Vietnam veteran and I jump out of airplanes and kill people. I just fell over left and it spread. We had literally been awake for 4 days. I mean, you could doze off in a chair for a minute. And so everybody's dying laughing. And the COs got all our stuff there because they were going to allow us the chance to just say, send us home without it being, a dishonorable discharge, anything like that. And he's, we had paper back then, guys. It wasn't Google. So he's flipping. And he says, you from Chicago, Bullock? And I said, yes, Drill Sergeant. You had to address them as to what they were, the lieutenant, drill sergeant, whoever. And you'd run everywhere you had to go in them for the whole time you were in bivouac or basic. And he said, you sure you're from Chicago? And I said, yes, sir. And he said, you don't have a record. I said, I know, sir. I tried real hard and not get one of those. Still laughing my ass off. I couldn't stop laughing. And he says, okay, from now on, you're wicked. That shit stuck. I was 17 when I went in the Army. My parents had to sign. My mama signed for me to go. I had ROTC and junior college and stuff under my belt. So I had chevrons. I had rank. And when you go into basic training, you're a trainee. You don't have rank unless you've done what I did, all the ROTC college, all this stuff. Had I known, I would not have done that because shit rose uphill in the Army. So when they fucked up, I got the shit. So yeah, I would have changed that out real quick. But it was good. It was, and I still miss it. I really do. I still miss it. I'm a maniac when I clean, according to even my stepdaughter. She was like, if anybody wants to learn how to clean, go to mom's house. One time we went over there, she was getting ready for Halloween and she was tearing everything apart, cleaning it, put it back together. And they were going, well, why are you tearing everything apart? She said, how the hell is this clean? So I taught that girl something. She's a lovely baby. She's a lovely broad. She really is. I call her broad. We get along well. We're more like kind of friends than, of course, than stepmama. And I don't blame her. It's a difficult thing to take on. My son adopted to his dad as dad, period. That was all it was. When we moved back from Texas because we had custody of his daughter at that time, if we moved back. So, of course, we did. And they became just tight as they could be. They are still sister and brother. They don't say stepsister, stepbrother. They're just sister and brother. And we have 5 grandchildren, 2 on my side with my son. And my grandson is already an Army veteran. And on my granddaughter's only 13. And on my husband's side, or my stepdaughter's side, she has 3 children. I'm not sure what the 2 youngest are doing, but my oldest over there, Ezra, he had heard all and absorbed all the stories I used to tell, especially about Fort Sam Houston, because when I first got in for his first station, they fought over me because I was a nurse and a secretary. So I could be put over there to run the division that took care of the doctors, that took care of testing and stuff like that. And so I ran a battalion even there. And it was amazing because I was 17 when I was doing this. And God, I had a lot of fun. I really did. And Fort Sam at that time was more like a college. I was already trained and I also had break. And so this gave me this edge. Watch Private Benjamin with Goldie Hawn. She kind of has some of my parts in there. And she's cuter. But you'll see. And now we have women fighter violence. I love that shit. I watched one girl take that F-15, just do this with it, and land on that carrier. Not this way. This girl come in like this and landed on that carrier. I was up on my feet. They'd be doing it up in the air. Sure. That's a hell of a pilot. I don't care if it's a man or a woman. Yeah, it's a hell of a pilot. We have a Golden Knight who's a female now. We didn't have any of that when I went in. You had the nurses, you had secretaries, they were on the back line. And so I was all excited, They started teaching. I had never held a weapon. I managed to do expert in that. I was real proud of that. Handed me a grenade and I said, run. They're looking at me like, uh-oh. Yeah, they didn't know what to do with the women anyway. And I'm like, seriously, they always picked me last for softball. They lost it. And I said, no, we'll be safe. We'll be good. Just if it doesn't get over the wall, I'll go and they side things, like little ditches. And I'm like, oh, okay, so we won't die if it gets So, of course, they give you dummies at first. And I'm launching these bras. And they don't tell you when they give you the live one. So you've done 5, 6, whatever of the dummies. Pull the pin, launch that sucker. And otherwise, you're trying to get that to the enemy. And I'm 5'2", guys. I'm 5'2". I'm 17. I weigh maybe 90 pounds. By the time I came out, I weighed 120 pounds. I had no neck. It was amazing. Couldn't find any clothes of mine that fit. I had to borrow clothes from others in the platoon because none of my clothes fit. They were size ones. I was a size 3, 4. So it wasn't working. And then, of course, the PX and grab clothes. That was always fun. So, these little things are something and they should be observed. The fact is, I feel cool. We knocked down that door whether they recognize that shit or not. And again, Private Benjamin is a good look at some of the shenanigans we got up to. And we did get up to a few shenanigans. We loved it when we got our first pass. Not a one of us came in sober. Some of us were carrying the other ones, but we made it back. It was like that. And since the CEO called me wicked and was looking at my record and all, decided I should be the one who helped him type, take things, dictation, so forth, and then take the dictation and put that on the paper. And back then you did not have Xerox; it was carbon paper, so you could not make a mistake because you can't erase carbon paper. It was a lot of fun. And then I got shit because I had chevrons, I had rank, and I'm also working for the CEO, the highest guy in your company and battalion. Other than a few colonels and generals, and they didn't show up except for right time. So it was basically those guys. But I got to admit, and the strangest thing was, I kept my hair was short. I had military had been in my. I was adopted, and military had been in the family since like the Civil War. They knew this, and I'd lost nephews during the Vietnam War, so I had POW. I had missing in action. I had a few that came home, and that was why I enlisted. I wanted to be able to help those men and women, or well, at that time, men who'd been injured and so forth, and maybe do orders or whatever they needed done. And when I came in and actually landed, Vietnam, of course, was over, period. I was Vietnam era. My husband was Vietnam because he's older. So this is how long ago this was, so you can tell. So you got someone here who is a little different than most women. I don't take much shit from anybody. I truly don't take shit from anybody. I don't know if that's the Chicago in me or if it's possibly the Army that brought the Chicago out, but there it is. I have seen some shit percolate, and I'll tell you now. I have seen some shit. This morning I saw that they they hit London with these smash and grabs. I don't remember how much, but almost everything down there. So the citizens, the British citizens, quickly put on those little vests that glow in the dark so you can see they're there. And over behind them, they tied on the Union flag, the British flag. And they marched and said, you got to, so that they could stop this vandalism and theft. And their own force arrested them. They didn't arrest the guys doing it, they arrested the British people that were saying, you got to stop this. There'll be no job. There'll be no store. Nobody can. They arrested them. The same thing with Tommy Robinson. Hey, Tommy, stay safe. Look that up, guys. And throw it in the live chat. If you want any more information about it, you probably already know more than I do. So there was that. Charlie Kirk, I talk about him. May his memory be a blessing. He was cut down in the prime of life. He was assassinated in front of the entire world. And I still don't hear anything about this. And I don't believe for a second that the little furry boy who was 21, 22, with his grandfather's World War I rifle, managed to know the one roof he could shoot from and actually get Charlie Kirk and do a one shot, one kill. Only people I've ever heard that could do that were assassins and snipers. And I dated one. And that's why I stopped dating one. It's one shot, one kill. This wasn't any 22-year-old Fluffy that was out there with his grandfather's World War I. He didn't do this, and if he did, I don't see how. I don't see how. Yes, I was trained to use a weapon, but that training goes away if you do not stay in practice. And by the way, I adjure everyone. Actually, I plead with everyone: get a weapon. Go through the sheriff's or the police department, whatever you do, get trained and understand what weapon you want and train in that weapon and keep it with you 100% of the time. It's your buddy, it's your pal, it's your lifeline. You don't ever let it go. It's always on safety, but you've got it always right there. The life you save may not just be your own. I've seen two or three examples of this where the person who was mowing down folks, kids, women, children, didn't matter, and they got shot and killed by somebody in the audience, wherever they were, synagogue, God knows, and they had a license to carry and stopped it. This could have been, in many cases, a complete slaughter, like October 7th. And I hear one more American idiot from some Harvard that's apparently getting $5 billion in income, well, taxes from us. Why the hell for? I don't get. And somebody, riddle me that, Batman. But I hear one more of them, and I'm going to drive down there just so I can slap the bitch off of them. Seriously? Where are their parents? Yeah, I asked it first, where's the faculty? Turned out the damn faculties were out there marching and shit and sitting in tents too. This is what? This is Harvard? And then you come to find out that you got to give them $5 billion in taxes, and that they've been doing that shit, and they don't pay taxes because they're an Ivy League school. Well, fuck all. I could have went to an Ivy League school. If you're going to pay them $5 billion a fucking year, why do I got to pay? And I done paid every damn college just about on this side of the planet, let alone Europe, because they changed all of this stuff every 10 seconds. The part I loved was the 90s when we used to ask him, have you unplugged it, plugged it back in? That shit worked almost every time, like 90%. It would work. I see my belt is kind of askew. I fidget when I get up here. In any event, I wasn't going to talk about that, and I tend up gambling on. There's just so much. What the fuck all is NATO for? Why is Russia in NATO? This is the North American Treaty Organization. Just for you guys who don't know, that's what it stands for. And believe me, look it up. Even Google will tell you that Russia is not a North American treaty anything. So why in God's name are they in NATO? Explain to me, please, why so many terrorist nations belong to NATO. Please do that. Riddle me that. Anybody. I've got time. Go for it. Throw it in the comments. Hit the live chat. Anybody, I dare you. I hope Blackhawks show up. I'm kind of bored today. Nobody can do it. Nobody can do it. We go in there and we have to defend the Straits of Hormuz because that's where the oil comes down. And pretty much everything in that general area, I understand. And who is that? Who's there? We're paying most of the shit at the UN. We're paying almost all the shit at NATO until Trump came in and said, what the fuck? You ain't been paying shit. We've been paying 80%. Fuck you. Get out or get your money out. I like the guy. I like Donnie. I call him Donnie. If he can call Kid Rock Bob, he's Donnie to me. It's like they call it alligator Alcatraz. I call that shit Gator Gitmo. It's a better tag. It's mine. Don't you steal that. I love my cigars. I started back into a friend brought some over, and I just had to try one because I used to smoke them a lot when I was stationed in Germany and Europe. And my husband allows me, thank God. He's really good about that. I don't buy these for myself. He will go and get me a pack. There's 5 in a pack, and it's just for the podcast. So then, and my little whiskey sour balls, he buys me so that I'm happy while I'm at my podcast. And as you can see, I got dressed. I couldn't believe it. The other thing I was going to tell you, I started when he got his boat together. He was going to go fishing. I don't get to leave the house, but he gets to go fishing for, a day and a half. So, he does not come in and say, oh, honey, you look so great. Let me take you out for a drink. No, he doesn't do that. No, this man does not do that. I don't know why, but he doesn't. I'm going to struggle with this. It's got a little belt that I put with it. I accessorize it. And I seem to do that well because I get a lot of compliments, which is really kind at my age. So, so he gets the boat together. He takes the tarpaulin off. And there are 2 kittens that have just been born. One is still wet from being born and the mother cleaning it. And it's starting to freeze. So we've got heaters on and stuff. We don't see a mama anywhere. And I'm like, oh, my God. And we've done this a lot. We've rescued a lot. And I'm getting older. And I said, we got to find the mom. So we put some, towels and stuff down in the ones that we had boxes and stuff with. And they also go into our tent that we have put up because Hurricane Helene destroyed the greenhouse. So it's a tent. And so they go in there and there's cushions and all that stuff, Yeah. Bowls of water and some food just to make sure that they're out of the rain, the cold, and, they're okay. No, mama. No mas. Nothing. Nada. I said, okay, I'm carrying around. I've already changed clothes. I'm in my nightgown and my robe. I'm holding them because it's already cold and the one is wet, so they can hear my heartbeat, stop crying. And that worked. They stopped crying. But we looked for about 30 minutes, and go get some milk because we didn't have even the powdered milk. And we used to try to keep that. And now it's missing it because I have my crosses on too, so I didn't bother to take off everything. So it's kind of caught with all the other stuff. So we'll just let that be for now. I said, okay, I'm going to take him inside, go get some milk. He had to go to 2 stores. We finally grabbed some milk. We had the bottles, of course. And now I'm nursing 2 kittens who have not even opened their eyes. They probably won't for another week. It's usually about 2 weeks. I've done this so many times I've lost count. The problem with this being I either have to find another home for them because now they're with us. They've bonded with us. And you can't just go, sorry, you're grown, and throw them outside. We have all of our male cats neutered, but you try to catch a cat outside. That's the part I love. So now they're saying, oh, just trap it, and you can take it on over to, the place where you take your animals, the animal shelter. The animal shelter kills them in one day. If they're pregnant faster than that, it's a kill shelter. It's not an animal shelter. Richmond County, which is what I'm in Augusta, of course, we got to have all these damn different counties so you have more taxes. Actually told me I could not do that and fined me and put me on probation. My husband almost got arrested, but we paid it. Well, he did. I was completely devastated. It was 2 cats. We had rescued the one with the broken paw just at Christmas time. And he brought his new wife with him. And so they ate the leftovers of my cats. At that time, I had 3. And I let them have the leftovers with a little fresh food. And I told the truth when they asked. The neighbor had reported us. Why, I don't know. It's 2 cats. It was 2 cats. And I'm like, and she acted like I had 100 cats over here, and I was aiming at her house like Cruella with cats. I mean, but it was a $400 bill, mind you. And that was to pay everything, pay the bail and everything at once. So nothing was hanging over my head. I didn't even understand what it was at that point. I was just devastated. It's a long story because every black person in the audience, dogs bit their neighbors and shit. He went out, made them hug. He hugged them. With me, he didn't even look at me. He just said, you're paying court fees. You're paying for court fines, and you can't ever feed one again or put water or anything down. And I thought, yeah, I've had a couple of people like you recused from the bench. And that's why, because I have a record of what you just did to me and what you didn't do to people who's actually had been hit by a car. One of them had been, no, I'm sorry, 3 of them had been bit by their neighbors' dogs who did not have shots or tags. My cats do. They don't. But they got me and put me on half a year's probation and shit. I was the only white person up there. They asked me if I wanted an attorney. I was told I was just going to pay a $20 fine or some shit. Because I had even no idea that you couldn't do anything in Augusta to feed an animal. Didn't know that. Well, I'm sorry. I'm kind of raised Catholic, and my husband's the same way. If we see some animal that's starving, freezing, we're going to help them. We're going to do that. That's between us and God. This little motherfucker judge, I don't even think God will talk to him. I do believe he will be having to look up to see hell. And I've done some shit before. I've just been busy. So we got these 2 new kittens. Sorry, I was adding some ice. 2 new kittens. Yay, me. and they fight. When they're with their mamas, that's what they do. They fight all the other cats to get to the teat, and then they, do that kneading thing, and they're growling at the others and holding on. So it's fun to feed them. They fight the shit out of you. I ain't never seen. I have one time I had two at the same time, like these two. The other two had their umbilicals still; they were that fresh. These guys had been birthed, and the mother had started taking care of them. What happened, I guess, when he moved that boat, she was only able to get out maybe one or two cats before he took that tarpaulin off. And he's calling me out there to get these kittens because it's cold and he know what. So now I have two more cats that I don't need. I've got one more. We're trying to get spaded this week. I canceled my appointment at the doctor's hospital because I couldn't do it all today. So I'm finally up here. I finally got them fed, and I've got them contained in a big, flurry, fluffy blanket. The blanket is what they wanted. However, when I'm sleeping, I've learned I got to put them in a box because, well, one of them I'm calling Super Kitty because he gets out of the box. I don't care what you put in there. And you can pick him up, and suddenly he's running up your shoulder and jumps off like he's just, a high flying squirrel. Gravity works. But he's too little to be doing stuff like that and landing on. We have hardwood floors. My husband, he put all that in for me when he bought the bar, and he bought me a huge china cabinet, so all that could be condensed and we could downsize. Now I love this thing, and I started wanting to do the podcast because I saw just doing it. I thought it was pretty cool. We Hippie should get together. We should talk. We should say, hey, in the '70s, we told you the barcode was going to fuck with shit. Nobody listened. But of course, that in our time, that was the barcode. It's that's the number. It's not, but it's close. Shit that's been happening is absolutely biblical. Everybody's got a smartphone. A smartphone has more of a computer in it than they had at NASA to shoot off the first astronauts, and that was a room-sized computer. Our phones do more than that did. So that's interesting. Yeah. So everybody knows they're haunted, or if they think they're haunted, they put their phone out there and they record. And good God, at the stuff that they're recording. My son, one time, we had inherited my husband's mother's home. I did not like the area that it's in. I'll try not to say what it is or what town, but it's evil. Every time we've come down there, and generally it's because of his mom and dad, we would move back from Texas to stay with them. Well, in the area, we have our own place, but uh, it was something, and we always ended up losing out somehow, and. And then it was me running from Georgia and go back to normal with government jobs and everything was fine. You come back here, it was red dirt roads and nobody had a fucking thing to do. So I was not a fan. And I'm adopted. And his sister, my husband's sister, is married to, well, was married to my half brother. Blessed them both, but their memories be a blessing, barring that from the Jews. I like them. They're both gone. There was another stepbrother. I don't know if he's gone or not. He's a Jehovah's Witness preacher and never seen a bigger hypocrite in my life. Never in my life. I'm not a young broad. They were absolutely ugly. And I warn every adoptee out there. If they tell you, someone says, another adopted part of your family says, do you want to meet so and so? They're your biological half brother, what have you. Run. Don't walk, run. Throwing holy water and a match behind you. Get to the airport, change your name, change your hair, cut the hair, get another name, go to 4 states away. Do not do social networking. Should be safe. I am not an advocate of those who do not know their biological family who has already shifted us to somebody else. I just think that with my experience that I had, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. It's not a kind thing. What was the other thing I was going to mention today? Well, of course, you got the shutdown. So we got ICE in there. I love Donnie. President Trump, he knows I'm not being, I think it's cute with Donnie. I think he's funny as hell. I don't know where he gets his energy, but he's funny. People don't catch it. He's funny. Uh, he they thought that I guess that they were oh, okay. They're going to hurt the Americans. The Homeland Security can't run the airports. Well, ICE can. Love Dottie, love you, babe. Uh, it just he sent all the ICE agents. So the passengers that are trying to get on there for Guadalupe, they're just taking them off, sending them. I love that shit. I love that shit. I like the El Cid prison in El Salvador too. Or is it Los Salvador? I can't remember what they're calling it now. It used to be El Salvador, I thought, when I was growing up. Of course, I thought we had 52 states by now, but what do I know? That Mandela effect? I think it's real because I technically I attended Mandela's funeral at home, but yeah. So I was totally floored when that came across. I was like, what the, what the fuck? I went to this dude's funeral, and it was years later. It wasn't like 89 when he died, and then 90 when he was alive. No, it was later, lots later. He got out of jail, got a divorce, wrote a book. Was he Secretary of the UN or something when he died? I don't know who the hell he was. Then we have two popes. And I'm like, okay, Sister Lucia's prophecy of the three prophecies that from the Virgin Mary of the girls and not Medjugorje. Can't think of the name now, but she was to withhold the third prophecy till 1960 something. It was still withheld. She had written it down, but she had sent it to the Pope. Nobody said anything. John Paul II got in. He wanted it. Just to give it to me. And it was addressed to, I think, Pope Pius XII or something. He was there when it went down. In any event, after he read this, he didn't say anything. It's a Pope. He didn't say anything. And right around that time, he had the uh, procession through the square and so forth, and was shot 4 times. And each shot that hit him should have killed him. Any one of those 4 shots should have killed him. They were a millimeter off of killing him. They missed by a millimeter. Any one of them would have killed him instantly. And yet they missed him by, a millimeter kind of thing. Like somebody went. And I don't know what the prophet said because they've been saying different things. And I'm not sure now exactly if we'll ever find out what Sister Lucia was told by the Mother Mary. Uh, she was called the Immaculate Conception at that time, I think. Like Saint Benedette Subaru. She is an incorruptible. You should see her. I cry every time I see her. She's beautiful. They did make a wax thing for her face to make it lighter, but it doesn't matter to me. That woman is beautiful and so serene. So yeah, I think some things are biblical that are going on. Now we're standing around in Iraq, and they don't help out in the Straits of Hormuz. They're not helping us. Not Iraq, Iran. They're at Persia, for me. So we already went in there with the Israelis, took out what was supposed to have been the Iranian nuclear facilities underground. Unfortunately, we found out that they had enough uranium that in 2 weeks they could weaponize it in 2 weeks. And they had delivery systems, of course, ready to go. That made them an immediate threat. Now, I don't know about the rest of you. Come on, hippies, pop in here. Stop being lazy. Come on by. Yeah. And for a fact, if they would have let this go, they would have hit somebody with a nuke, or maybe several somebodies. But I think definitely Israel would have been hit by a nuke. And I mean, you can only defend them against so much stuff coming at your system, and that takes a lot of arms. Arms are not easy; they're not cheap. They're not easy to get unless you make your own. It's like the Ukraine has been taking ours. Now we're at war, so you're on your own. I hope. We should be out there doing this. We've lost 6 or 7 people now. It might have been even higher now. I haven't seen it. I didn't just leaving one is upsetting to a veteran. There shouldn't be boots on the ground. We've taken out their Air Force. We've turned their Navy into a coral reef. I love Donnie. Uh, that's a Tuesday, Alan. I love the shorts they're doing of it. Um, so why do we need boots on the ground? Now, I understand that Iran was the one who was funding terrorism around the globe. I've been screaming that for 2 decades. We finally have a president with some balls, hey, Donnie, to go ahead and take care of this mess. You're out of here, or we're bombing you. These idiots actually sent airplanes against our battle carriers. Oh, you stupid. Oh, yes, you are. It's taking a knife to a fucking missile fight, you idiots. Up there in their little jeeps and fucking flip flops. The thing I got a problem with is they got 2,000 of my special forces on the ground. These guys are wearing Nike and fucking flip flops. How are you going to know that they're the enemy? I mean, they could just be a civilian, walk around being stupid. It's beyond belief. It really is. Although I agree wholeheartedly with Donnie. And Israel, of course, is paired with us. But where's the rest of the UN and NATO? Oh, the motherfuckers say they will send a ship sometime in 3 weeks. We don't need that. We done one now. We done got the Hormuz Strait cleared. Fuck you. I wondered, I knew why we got involved in the World War II. We didn't want to. It was a real problem with all of us citizens. That was no, no, no. And it was the Japanese attack. Made us go to war, but only against Japan at that time. We only were going against Japan. And suddenly Germany declared open warfare on the United States. No quarter kind of thing. Now that's stupid. You're already fighting 15 countries. Of course, they done lost, but and then he got even stupider. And I don't know which one was which, but he declares war against America, and then he declares war against Russia or vice versa. But idiot. For one thing, nobody has ever been able to attack Russia and come out alive. By the time you get in there, that hard ass winter has hit, and you are frozen as you walk, as you stop. You're just frozen. And hundreds of thousands. And this has been the first time. Why the hell would you fuck with Russia, or for that matter, the United States of America, when we had nothing to do with your shit over in Europe? Now we got to go fight on two fronts. So then the Allies were formed. People, you ask any random person on the street, what allies were there in World War II and were recorrect in getting into World War II? Oh, no, no, no. We were. These people pay so much money for their education. So I'm like, oh my God. I've got a son. I've got grandchildren. My grandson is also an Army veteran, I think I mentioned. So I don't have young kids. Well, my granddaughter's youngest at 13, of all, even my step grandchildren. And my step grandson is followed just as my grandson did. He went through Fort Sam Houston training because he loved the stories that I used to tell. I loved it when I was at Fort Sam. And so he trained there as a medic, and he went to Korea too. And Korea's usually a 2-year stint. So I miss him, and he hasn't come back yet. But thanks to technology, we can all talk mind. Plus, I'm listening because I don't want the kittens to start before me, and they will, because the cats keep going over and waking them up. This time I fed them and I put them in a box. I put them in a box when I'm sleeping because I found out they're super kitties. They tend to walk where they want to go, and apparently they're like flying squirrels. They can leave the bed and hit the floor, and they're good to go. I have one of those puff mattresses, pillow mattresses, so it's like 7 feet. I have to have a step stool to get into my bed. So I freak out when the cat just can't open his eyes yet, and he's already in the wind. I have such a life, I tell you. Boy, something made me mad. Made me mad when I saw the Londoners and the police attacking the London people instead of the people that were right there smashing and grabbing, robbing, shooting people. And what the absolute fuck all is wrong with everybody? Oh, y'all, like I said, get a weapon, learn how to use it, because the life you save, I bet you 10 to 1, and I pay good money to see it, won't be just your own life you save. If you're sitting at McDonald's and some dumbass runs his car through the whatever, and he's in there shooting people, stand up and put 6 rounds in his ass. They won't do that again. I know they frown on that. They apparently do not frown on those who come in and do these things. They say, oh, we want your guns. Fuck you. I've got a Bible. I've got a gun. You're not taking either one. You can out of my cold dead hand. I don't give a shit about that. That's okay. But I'm an army a bit through and through. You're not taking shit off me unless you kill me first, or I want to give it to you. I'm not giving it to you. I like Donnie. I'm afraid for Donnie. They've already tried to assassinate him twice. They came awful close in Pennsylvania. A fireman gave his life jumping on top of his wife and children. He gave his life. There was 2 more who were incredibly injured. Nobody talks about that. I don't hear anybody talking about that. Oh no, it's that. What's that name? What's the name of that guy? Epstein? You know, the one that killed himself under a suicide watch with a sheet. Now, mind you, the bunk bed was only like 4 feet off the ground, so he's 2. He jumped off with that 4-foot sheet to strangle himself. And yet, apparently, we all bought that. Now you see why I need my bar. This is why I need my bar. I think as social Woodstock, that we should all be able, and we can, get out here and use the rights that we were given in the Constitution. These stupid idiots with their bullhorns and their stupidity. I think I mentioned stupid idiots. I mean, these are guys that are beyond stupid. You can only fix so much with duct tape. They may front on that too. But they got to do something about the fact that these people have organized, that these people do not obey federal law. Not the governors, not the people all the way down. They do not. Fort Sumter fired a cannon fucking ball. One motherfucking cannonball. Fort Sumter, South Carolina. They sent one fucking cannonball. Civil War. There was no, we're not going to do that because we want to take care of everybody. Oh, fuck you are an American. Your country, you don't have a country. Your state is federally controlled, not by you. We put you little monkeys up in there to take care of day-to-day shit, and all the fuck you do is steal everybody blind. Oh, I love the hospices in California that were making billions, that are old hotels with no guests, and yet the people who own the hotel are driving Mercedes and have bank accounts worth millions. Nobody stayed at the hotel, but they got one. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Look at California. Same with Minneapolis. Waltz can get away with this. Ilhan Omar can get away with this. Congress. One's in Congress, the other's the governor. What the hell? When the hell are the people going to stand up and say, I'm scared, you got to go? In the 1800s, it'd be tarred and feathered, but they frown on that shit. They frown on that. If anybody else like me thinks it's time the hippie stood up and said, hey, this is still our fucking country. You can't have a sanctuary city. You go to jail, directly to jail. And all of you who want to have a sanctuary city in this state, get out. Here's your free plane ticket. If you don't want that, here's your parachute. I love Gator Gitmo. Send them down there. I don't give a shit. People from Guatemala have been looking for them since 2019. They've done stay since 2019. They weren't supposed to be here. And they're, oh, boo-hoo. They have to pry the bitch loose. But she was out there with that flag and burning my flag. I see somebody burn the American flag, it's just all over for them. I'll tell you what, I'll be on them just like white on rice. It will be a bad day for them. Burn my flag in front of me. Uh huh. Personally, I think that's about the way every American veteran feels. Those bastards called me a homegrown terrorist. They don't have any fucking idea. If I was a homegrown terrorist, I'd have done took out most of D.C. Are you kidding me? These people are mincing around. What if they had a real battle plan when they got here? What if they had 3 battalions show up in the District of Columbia? I've lived there. I have worked there myself and my mother-in-law. I don't think most people know it, but the food stamp program is run out of the state of agriculture. And we were the ones that invented these. I loved the monopoly money when we had the, but we were the ones that were inventive and that changed and implemented it. Something else there was a first time. We didn't have the cards back then. You had to count the money out and then give you change. So people would go in with the $5 ticket and buy a $1 thing and have $4 change. And that was just the beginning. And this was 40 years ago. I used to teach the firemen to be paramedics. Now they're really just ambulance drivers. When I had my horrific accident, they did not know what to do. They did not secure the leg, the foot, nothing. They sat there, put a pillow behind me while I was on the floor, and waited for the guy with the pain medicine to get there. So that was fun. And it was, I'll give you this much now, and we're going to put a sheet under you so we can get you past this part and carry you out. And then I will give you the other half. And you just so want to grab him and start beating him amongst the face. It really, I do. Again, they frown on that nice guy. It's not that, I'm screaming all the way to the ambulance. They didn't keep the dolly outside. They carried me into the ambulance and then put me on the dolly. So, this leg is, you've only got 2 bones in your leg, and if you got 3 breaks, you're in a goddamn mess, I'll tell you. I should write a book. I need, everybody keeps saying you should write a book. I don't know if anybody get it or not, though, is the thing. But I'm about to run out of time. If you see me, you want to talk to me, do please put it in the comments because I'm going to end up being gone. I do these live. If you want to see me or talk to me live, I always have live chat on. You're going to have to go ahead and subscribe. It's free. You can take it off if you don't like it. It's for entertainment purposes only. I try to admit to, although I really don't think I'm that entertaining. But I enjoy doing this just to see if there's some more hippies still left alive. And like me, we managed to get through and retired before Big Brother got some shit. I heard one official say that he wanted to make sure, I love this, that when he got to the age of retirement, that when he started collecting his retirement, it wouldn't be somebody else paying for it like he was paying for ours. I'm like, you motherfucker, they stole my shit. I don't give a damn what you think. That's my money. I don't care where they fucking got it. They stole my shit and now they got to cover it. That's their problem. If you think that's your problem, you need to open your eyes and go talk to the folks in the federal government because they have stolen not just ours. And y'all call us baby boomers. And I go with my husband's generation. He's older. So baby boomers are out there taking other people's money. Fuck you. Baby boomers and hippies have been working since we were 4. Get a grip. What do you think you should have, huh? I got news for you. They stole the monies and stole the monies and stole the monies. And you think you're paying for it? Oh, motherfuck you. You're not paying for jack shit. Your great-great-grandson is paying me. You get to my fucking place, and if you get your money, I think you need to get on your knees for a while and talk to God because I don't see any way for your generation to make a goddamn thing. You guys have been strangling the baby boomers and hippies for way too long. And as far as I'm concerned, the next ballless bastard that walks into my granddaughter's bathroom and I find out about it, I'm going to go be lookout. I'm going to go be sniper. Find me. That boy won't do it twice, I promise you. It's like I told my son one time. Yes, they frown on that. Bring the Blackhawks. I am bored. I told my son. He kept saying, "My 13-year-old daughter or granddaughter is beautiful," and I mean, totally beautiful. No makeup, just gorgeous. And he said, "Oh, she can't date. She can't date." And I said, "Son, she gonna date. Now, do you want her to do it behind your back or not? Because she gonna date. You need to get over that part. You need to say, okay, she's gonna date. Well, then maybe I better find some way to, get in on this." So I said, take you a shotgun shell and throw it at him till it bounces off his chest, and tell him those come a lot faster after 9 o'clock. I love that one. I didn't use that when he was young. And my grandson is with a different young lady, and we love her too. But he never married her. So, we, and he was 13 years older than his sister, who was born here. He just looked at me. I said, "Really try it." That bastard will have that girl home at 8:30. Whatever time you want. He'll be early. If he's got a lick of sense. I don't know. It's again Georgia. I keep telling y'all it's Georgia for a reason. Any of y'all has some questions, throw it up there. Yeah, it's Georgia. It's just, oh my God. The government system for kids in school, no wonder my son wanted out. I knew why. And I allowed it because he got his GED and he works in a very high position. He too works on base. So they all work on base, and that's great. I too did that till I quit and became retired. I love this. I do more work now than when I'd go back if I could. They won't let us old ones back unless we go to war. Personally, like I said, at Fort Sumter, they fired a cannonball and went to war. Now, these sanctuary cities, it's time to stomp the fuck out of them. I mean, it's time to take everybody from A to Z, from every elected office, from sheriff to uh, the governor. Take them all out. Take them all out. Put them in jail. Make them go through the court system so they go to prison. Let's make sure they go to prison because you can't write them out of tar and feather. They frown on that. Get them out and follow their money. When I saw Somali people who are supposed to be American citizens are going through the airport in Minneapolis and their carry-on luggage has $6 million in cash in it, I got a problem. When you walk through and there's daycares and they won't let you in because you're white, fuck you. You need to get out of my country. Now it's time for the citizens to take up arms and form their own militias. And probably they'll have a problem with me saying that. But again, if you can't call anybody like 911, they're not going to respond in many places like Seattle, San Francisco, LA, Portland. I could go on, Chicago, none of Chicago. And police do not uphold and go and assist the ICE agents when they call for help. There's a special place in hell for that you don't stand with your brothers, because I have a thing with I am still Army all the way to the day I die, and they could call me up right now and I would be there in a second, in a heartbeat. If you love your country, you would do such a thing. If you love your country, you would speak out and stop these son of a bitches from ruining our country. And look at Britain and see how when they speak out, they're arrested while they're doing smash and grab literally in their faces. There's something wrong, honey. There's something wrong with the planet. I don't know what, but I swear to God, I watched Mandela's funeral. So something went south, and if you ask me, it was the collider because about that time they was redoing shit. Suddenly Mandela was back. I don't know. So it's above my pay grade. So those of you, I see my time is up. I try to only put an hour in because I got so much to do afterwards, so including bottle feed 2 kittens. No, my husband's not that much of a helper. Just why he's outside and has his own apartment. And so if any of you are, well, call me. Put it in the comments, honey. I'll send you a link. Just come on and see me. Augusta's a great place if you're visiting. Everywhere I've been, I don't stay very long. I'll be damned if I ain't stayed here for 14 years. I was shocked. Then my son comes in and we bought their starter home. He's going, Mom, we're moving. We're finding 10 acres. We want you guys to move with us. We're like, oh, fuck. We're old. We're tired. He said, no, I have 2 minutes in a truck pack you up. I'm like, oh, fuck. I've done that when I moved to Germany and so forth. Half of your shit be everywhere. They actually pack your garbage. They used to. But yeah, I'm over the time. So let me get off of here, guys. Love y'all. Come see me. Hit the like, hit the mistakes. I don't care. Tell me what's going on. And for God's sakes, open your mouths. Get your opinions out here while this is free, while we can still have the freedom to do it. At least it's in the clouds. So God bless and come see me. And thank you, everybody. Have a good one.